What's ahead for you? Do you know yet?
Alex and I actually currently are working on, oh, crap. I don't
What?
know if I'm supposed to say this.
On the DL?
Well, I guess now it's not. It's
No,
not
this is a great place to announce it.
Yeah, surprise. I'm Shivani Darsinos. I'm the owner of Cafe Babu in Nashville, Tennessee, and this is my story.
Who taught you to shoot different?
Maybe it's either the younger child syndrome or like where you have to like want to strive to be different than your older sibling, or my parents. They're just like, don't be basic.
Love that.
Yeah. I think just growing up, it was like, growing up like in an Indian family, you have to find a good balance. But also I grew up like in a traditional but untraditional family where it's like my dad was the type of dad where there's no such thing as, oh, like, you're a girl, so you need to stay in the kitchen or do. He was like, hey, who's helping me lift this air conditioner? Like, I have 2 kids and I need help. Like, we're not going to ask your mom to do it. So, and I was always like, my dad was my best friend and he still is my best friend. So like we would, just get our hands dirty, like lift up ACs. He would like teach me how to do random like little things. Even when I got my car, the first thing he did was he was like, all right, let's learn, like, let me teach you how to do like the basics, how to change your tire. Let me teach you how to like do this so so you're not helpless. I think he always like wanted, for him, he always was like very adamant that like we be independent and that, we don't rely on anyone, which was, I respect him so much. And I also have like 100% of his personality. So sometimes we both look at each other and we're like, can't even get mad at each other. Like, we would do that.
Is he in Kentucky?
Yeah, he's in Kentucky. Came to the States when he was 30. And actually he moved to, he had immigrated here on October 6th, which is why we chose October 6th to be the opening date for Babu. Because it was like just to pay homage and, give the love back to like, they left all their known identity behind to move here and immigrated here to be able to make a better life and, to be able to provide a better future. Like they have the true immigrant story, came with like $20 in their pockets. Wow. Like their date night was sharing like a tostada from Taco Bell.
How far we've come. Can you imagine if I tried to go on a date and it was like, hey, we're gonna go share a tostada from Taco Bell?
Yeah,
the girl would be
sharing.
Like, you'd be like, we're getting 2.
We're getting 2. And that's for me. Like, what are you gonna have? I was like, listen.
Yo, that's a real one.
You can tell me a good time at Taco Bell, but like, I won't share.
I do want to talk about Babu. You've mentioned it a few times.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with it. It's why we're
you.
sitting here today, Shivani.
Stop it.
I'm not going to because
Okay.
I'm fully obsessed.
Good.
I talk about it to everybody that will listen to me. What is it for the uninitiated?
So Cafe Babu, it's a coffee shop. We do coffee, cocktails, wine. We fully have emerged, I feel like, from the day one of like what the vision was. It just kind of kept becoming more and more attainable and practical with just the amount of like people that reached out to us and like wanted to be a part of what we wanted to do, which is create like a really cool community, like coffee shop, but also create a vibe, create a place, pretty much just like I just wanted to open up a place to make more friends. I think Cafe Babu is just like a reminder, just to pay like, like a little, like an ode to culture. It's a nod to like, like where I come from, but also like what I grew up within, but also I'm not the only one who shares this, right? So you coming in from like a cultural aspect, it's like there's so many other people out there who have a very similar story to me, like where you kind of grow up, like you don't know what identity you have, you don't know like, how Indian you can be, how American am I, like, when I go to India, they're like, you're American. When I'm in America, they're like, you're so Indian. I'm like, I don't know. Like, no one wants to claim me.
Where do I belong?
Where do I go?
I'm one of you, I promise.
I swear. And I think with, the cafe, it's pretty much just a space where, it's a space for everyone. It's a space for no matter where you come from, what your cultural background is, who you are, what you believe in, what you want. It's just a place like, just come, have a cup of coffee, have a glass of wine, drink a cocktail with abstract flavors. And yeah, sure, Bad Buddy might be playing at 8 a.m. in the morning there. Like, I'm sorry if I'm on the aux. Like, I love a good Bad Bunny moment. You might have a DJ there. And
there might be a Joe Jonas concert.
Maybe. Yeah. That's also a case.
Come on. The last guy that sat in that chair, Nick Lubke, him and I were meeting up for a coffee meeting. We show up and there's
I remember seeing you guys.
There was like 300 girls there on like a Thursday afternoon.
You were asking me, you're like, what's going on here?
I'm like, why are there 300 girls at Cafe Babu in the middle of a Thursday?
Spot. Like, what's a girl to do?
Because Joe Jonas was performing there.
That's what I'm saying is like the community truly has come together, and it's like just the wildest things, because it's like, I don't think we ever, like never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that was ever even going to be something remotely possible to happen. Right.
The cafe or Joe Jonas performing at
Joe
it?
Jonas performing. The cafe was always like front in my vision, like where it's like everything I did to, manifest the coffee shop. So it's like, even when I was a kid, like 12 years old, talking like, tea talks with my parents in the morning, it's like, what do you want to do with your life? And I'm like, oh, that's a great question. Like, I think I want to open up a coffee shop, and that was always there. And they're like, okay, cool. So let me tell you, so here's a hotel. Like, do you want to go into the hotel industry? Like, what about accounting? What about chemistry? And I'm like, so I'll do accounting. That one sounds cool because like I was good at it in school, but
that's what you studied.
I studied accounting and finance. And even that, it was funny because like, even then I was like, okay, like even in all my courses, I would talk to my professors and I was like, yeah, like I'm doing accounting for now. Like I want to open up a coffee shop in the future. And they were like, great. So how's your tax project coming? Like, are you like analyzing a coffee shop? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that right now. But like, and then I worked at a coffee shop in college. And even then, like when I was interviewing with them, I was like, when I grow up, I want to open up my own coffee shop one day. And, they truly, like, even whenever this actually whole aspect happened, they were like, my old boss was probably one of the biggest supporters of this dream. And like, even he was like, hey, like, well, if you want, why don't you come back over here? Cause I was like, hey, I don't even know if this is something I still love to do, want to do. And he was like, well, come back. You can use our espresso machine. Just see how you feel and run with it. And that's what we did. And, that was like, wait, I love being back behind a bar. And, this was at a point I was doing tax consulting and I was like, okay, you're right. I need to change it up. We need to go back into just keep following this dream. And Alex was probably the biggest
Your
supporter.
husband.
My husband. He was like, if you tell me one more time you want to open up a coffee shop and not do anything about it, like you can't say that you want to do it. And so I was like, you're right. Challenge accepted. Watch me.
How did that seed get planted when you were 12? Where do you think that came from?
So every good story starts in Vegas, right? We went on a family trip to the Grand Canyon. And we were that family. We drove everywhere. Like my dad.
You drove from Kentucky?
We drove from
Let's
Kentucky.
go. We did the same thing.
We drove from Kentucky. And this is before any of us could drive except for my mom and dad. So we were definitely those kids. Like we would hop in a vehicle and just drive. Because my parents were like, you're not allowed to go to the same place twice in a row for vacation. It's like you need to go see what's out there. I'm telling you, my parents, like, they really have shaped me up for the better. But anyway, we were in Vegas. So we did a pit stop because my dad was like, well, we're already all the way out here. Let's just bop on over. So we went to Vegas. I can't go into the casinos because I'm literally 11 years old. And so the next adult thing to do at the time, and this is like when local coffee shops weren't that big and hotels. So there's a Starbucks. So my dad let me get a latte. And I was like, I just felt so adult about it. I was like, wow, I'm so cool. I have a little latte. And I'm dumping like so much sugar into it because I'm like, I don't want it sweetened. But then I dump sugar because I'm like, oh, this is so bitter. And like drinking my little latte, and he and I are just like chatting and again, just hanging out. And like, I was like, Dad, this could be cool. He was like, all right. It was that simple of a dream. And then I didn't realize how much that moment actually resonated with me. And then continuing on, that became kind of like a thing for my dad and I to like just hang out. Like just whenever we would travel, we would go to like different Starbucks. Like we were in India one year and went to, my mom and my sister weren't wanting to, like they were tired. So my dad and I were like amped up on energy. So we're like, let's just go walk. So we were walking, found a bookstore. From a bookstore, saw, coffee shop, hung out. And then that kind of moment kept building into that future of like, you know what, this is like, it's more than just like, I want to do a coffee shop. It's a feeling, it's a dream, it's nostalgia. And also you see the importance. It's so important in every culture. Like when you travel, if you go to any country, it's like when you sit at this like table, you don't have a laptop open. You know, like you're hanging out, you're talking, like it's just fun.
I think about it all the time. I just got back from Guatemala recently.
Okay.
I'm like, the economy of coffee is insane.
It's insane. Honestly, it's not just in Guatemala. I mean, I think every single like South America, even in Greece, we were drinking maybe every second. Alex and I were probably like in the morning, we'd wake up, let's go get a coffee, go to the like have a coffee, go to the beach. On our way to the beach, throw our coffee cup. You're right. It's coffee time. Let's get another cup of coffee. Then you're moving on. You know, you drink that, you go swim, have a fresh juice, and then, oh, whew, that swim was exhausting. Let's go have another coffee. And you're like, by the end of it, we've had maybe like 15 cups of coffee in a day. And we're like, oh.
Shiv, what's your average intake a day?
I was setting you up.
Be real. Be real here.
Okay. I've gotten better. I would say I used to drink probably like 5 cold brews a day, which is
5 cold brews
a day. Yeah. It was unreal. And like a few shots of espresso in between.
I would be full crackhead, maybe checking into a mental hospital for anxiety.
Yeah, I probably felt the same, but I just like thought, I was like, that's natural. Like everyone feels this, right? Like this is normal. But then I think like once like I started being around like my team, and I'm pretty sure they've started switching me to decaf at times. Like they're just like, I'm like, oh guys, like, can I just have like 2 shots of espresso? And they're like, yeah, the first one's real, and I think the second one's like a placebo. They're like, she'll never know. Now you run on like just natural adrenaline and energy, and it's like this one coffee will last me like the whole day.
Okay.
But we do make the cold brew a little bit stronger, because like that's the point of like the ice will melt down. It just like your caffeine intake still stays heavy.
It's so good.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm obsessed with the design. I'm obsessed with everything. And I need to know all about it. Okay. When did you officially decide I'm going to finally pursue my childhood dream?
2023. So end of December is kind of when all of it really came into fruition. The landlord, it all kind of started happening. Like they had reached out to Alex, who, you know, at the time we had just gotten engaged as well. So we were planning a wedding, and we thought it would be like a good year to like figure it out. So end of 2023 is like when it really was like, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do this.
What was in that space before?
Nothing. It was an old abandoned warehouse. We DIY'd pretty much 90% of that space.
Wow. Wait, really?
Yeah.
The design is insane.
So Alex designed it. So he's an architect.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yep. So he's an architect, and you know, he was also kind of feeling like in a world of like he wanted to just do something with like ample amounts of design, and what best than test it out with me. And you know, we got the price back of everything, and then it was like, well, it's either you change this design, or he's like, no, we're gonna build it ourselves. He's like, don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, interesting. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, it can't be that hard to mix concrete. Like, we'll figure it out. So, I mean, it was labor of love. Like the full family came together. Both of Alex's brother-in-laws, like all hands on deck. My sister-in-laws, all hands on deck. Like, I mean, we were mortaring, make like all the outdoor patio. We built it out. All the interior. One of my brother-in-laws does drywall, and he literally helped us with concrete, and just we were going in like putting in metal, like the metal sheathing. And
how would you explain the design?
Genuinely a combination of like Mediterranean meets Indian. The idea is it's all organic. It's very like, we want it to be very like tactile. So it's like you're able, like, it's like you want to just keep touching things. It's like the idea of, but it's like, it's all organic. So it's the idea of like, it's so simple too. Cause it's like, you know, the concept of like how simple Mother Nature is and how beautiful it is. Like I come from like a villager family background. Alex, same thing, very villager, like very like farmer, like, you know, children of farmers. And, you know, growing up, it's like the rub the dirt in it really was like a different story. It's like if you get wounded, like there's some turmeric on it. If you do this. So like nature was always so important. And I think that we really want to explore and bring that into just the whole idea of Babu. Is it's like you have this one simple idea. You have like all of nature to provide you comfort, but the beauty comes within that simplicity. So it's like you're having all these organic rocks, all these things to like really make you feel as if you're in an oasis, but it's also like a ode to like Mother Nature, where it's like, you know, we go out and we take life for granted. Sometimes we go out and we see a rock and we're like, I mean, I've never realized how much I love rock shopping. Like shopping for rocks was the funnest part about the whole
Because you use them as tables.
We use them as tables at the outside. Like it was just supposed to, it's like, you know, we were like, oh, how cute. Like if somebody just like wants to sit on a rock, they can sit on it. And then all of a sudden we were like, wow, we were worried that nobody would understand, like would do that.
I sat on a rock and talked to my mother this morning at your cafe.
Stop. It just makes you feel grounded a little bit, right? Or am I just being
No, I loved
crazy?
it. I loved it.
And yeah, it's like you go and there's so many rocks and you're like, no, that's the right color of a rock. That's the perfect aesthetic. Look at how flat this rock is. Alex, we need this rock. Like these were conversations that we were having.
Yeah, I don't know if people fully appreciate how much work you probably put into that place.
I mean,
I hope they do because it's insane.
Thank
Like
you.
you can't not.
You know,
But I imagine it's even more than we realize.
But also the beauty of it is like we don't want it to be like, oh, like, hi, I did so much work. Like, welcome to my space. Like, appreciate me. It's like, no, like, how do you feel in this space? Like, you know, and for me, when you see people come in with a smile, it's like, to me, that's beyond any appreciation I could ever ask for. And when they like, I'm so creepy. I'll like watch people like take a sip of their coffee just to like see the reaction. Like, okay, do they like it? Do they not? Like, what do they need? Especially at the beginning, it was bad. Like, I think one person, like I remember seeing a customer and they came in and like, I think she wanted it sweeter. And I watched her reaction and, you know, she took a sip. She's like, oh, like, you know, like taken back a little, it was a bit bitter. So I go with like just a pump of vanilla in my hand. I'm like, do you want sugar? And she was like, where did you come from? But she appreciated it by the end of it. I'm like, no, here. And she goes, yeah, I like my coffee sweeter. I'm like, there's no shame in that. Like, let's fix it. And then, you know, she does it. She's like, this is the best. And like, and you know, she really enjoyed it. But it's like little things like that. It's like just knowing like what people want is so important.
Have you learned anything else about customer service or reading people? Anything that sticks out to you right now?
I think the biggest thing is sometimes I have to learn to chill. You know, that's kind of, it's like ultimately everyone who comes into the cafe, it's like they officially have become a part of this like greater family, whether they want to be or not. And it's so fun because it's like when I walk in, it's like I give people hugs. I'm a hugger. I just love humans. And
you are a light. You walk into a room and it is a bright explosion of light.
Stop. I think it's just because I feel like I'm like a golden retriever in like a human form sometimes. But I think there's something so beautiful about channeling people's energy. And I think especially like in a coffee shop, I think we don't realize why we keep going back to a coffee shop sometimes. And for me, it's you go back for, again, that atmosphere, but in that atmosphere, what all is a part of it? It's not just the table and your computer or the person you're with. It's about everything around you. It's not just about, a space can be so beautiful, but if the people aren't, like if you know, people aren't so receptive or your customer service isn't so warm, I think people sometimes can just feel like, okay, great, it's another beautiful place. And for me, it's so personal because it's like you're coming into my house. Like I feel like it's like, and it's very Indian of me. I'm like, come on in, like let me serve you. What can I bring you? What can I get you? And I think things like that you learn slowly is like, actually in customer service, people do appreciate it. It's like they do like to be served. And you know, it's even though it's like you grab and go, but it's like if a drink stays on the bar for too long because it's not been claimed, like, you know, I like to go run and find that person because I want them to make sure that they still get the best quality that they've gotten. And bringing just something simple like that, bringing out a cup of coffee to someone, in my mind, that's normal. Like we should be doing that. In someone else's mind, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I was going to come in there and grab it. You know, so it's like just going a little bit of the extra mile, I think really makes or breaks it sometimes for people.
I admire your playfulness. You know, like I saw you dancing this morning in the cafe. I saw you hugging your people like you just mentioned. I love that. I have two goals in life is to have fun and to be productive. And I'm curious, and I was talking to a lot of your employees and they were like, man, she just really like asked about my personal life. She always makes sure that like I'm balancing the two of them. Like if I really need some time off, she's very gracious with that. She just cares a lot about me. And I'm curious how you push them though. Like when it's time to hold them accountable, is that hard for you? How do you do it?
I will say, I think I've just gotten so lucky with the team that I have and the team that we've assembled is, I mean, the team is all hands on deck when needed. You know, and everyone has been just so like every single person has like their own strengths, they have their own weaknesses, and it's like finding that strength and like really like letting anyone shine to me is the most important thing I can do. But also like knowing that, like how can you be somebody? It's like for me, I also treat my team as if like, because they are family at this point, right? And it's like you check in on one another, and it doesn't help like, and especially in that space, it's like if you can get pretty overstimulated or what it may be. So it's like taking like a 5-second like breath break, like just go back there really quickly, like, take it, because it's like I can take over really quickly or this, that. But I think just we all work together and we do hold each other accountable, and just I think it's been really natural to be able to say, hey, like, why don't you do this? I'll do this. And like, let's just do it together. I think it's easier whenever I think they see me all the time. So it's like they know that at the end of the day, like it's all hands on deck, especially at the beginning when we had just opened, it was me plus three team members. And, we were not expecting the space and we had a soft opening. So it was supposed to be just like a small little opening. Like we were expecting like just a few people, and Nashville really came together and supported us. But I mean, in that you had like, you had Alex, you had my sisters, you had my parents, everyone, just all hands on deck, everyone coming in thinking that they're going to just like, take a table, have a cup of coffee just to support. And then all of a sudden it's like everyone's bussing tables, everyone's running around, people are in the back my parents are washing dishes, Alex's sisters are bussing tables, cleaning tables, getting everyone turned out. The first week everyone was making sandwiches, so it's like, and everyone got to see that growth. So it's like anyone who's been hired on, they were all kind of a part of like this ma and pa operation, truly. Cause like at first I think a lot of people thought, whoa, we thought this was corporate backed. And then we see it's not corporate backed. And then we see literally your mom in the back making tea in the mornings.
Wow. That's special.
And I mean, and we just had fun with it. And, and like the team, we were like, okay, you guys show up like 10 minutes before we open and leave 10 minutes after we're closed. Like, don't worry about the opening. Don't worry about the closing. Like and the fact that they were like, no, like we want to stay, like, let us help you mop floors. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. But it was always that we're all holding each other accountable. Like if the team needs something, we're going to make it happen. Like, and if I need something, like the team is there to like back me. So it's just become so long. That's like the longest way to say, no, it's not hard to keep anyone accountable.
Wow.
To go back to it.
I'm so impressed by that. Do you feel like you've had to have hard conversations?
Definitely there's been a few, there's been like hard conversations, but I think it's so easy because again, it's like, I like to say that I'm approachable. I am pretty open. It's like, and I'm always there. So it's not like I can't see, if you can see if someone's like, they have a look of exhaustion, like you can see it. And for me, it's important to know that like, are you feeling this exhausted because of like what's happening back here? Are you feeling like, where are we doing? So that's where like Mondays, they were closed, right? Like we're closed on Mondays because when we first opened, we all were like, we need a day. Like we need a day. And the team was like so sweet. They were like, no, like, don't worry. Like, we don't want to tell you. I'm like, you guys, I see your faces. I see my face. Like, let's take a moment. Let's take a day. And like, we'll keep it. Like, we'll just take a day off. And it's, just to help.
I'm glad you get it. I hate that you're closed on Mondays.
I'm sorry.
It kills me, Shiv.
I'm sorry. Well,
Monday's the day I need my coffee
here's the thing.
most.
If you see the lights on and if I'm in there, I'm going to make you a cup of coffee.
So sweet. That speaks to you.
And like
Wow.
And you think I'm kidding. The amount of times, like if I'm back there.
I know you're not by now.
I'm not. Like I've made, on Mondays, I like run.
Be careful saying this. You're going to.
We're so close on Mondays.
But I think the difference with the difficult conversations, and I'm sorry to dwell on this.
I'm not even answering any of your questions. How do you feel about that?
It's just, I'm obsessed with it because I think running a successful business requires difficult conversations. Mm-hmm. And I'm always trying to think of how can you make those as successful as possible? And how can you do it in a way where the person's not defensive? My mother is extremely good at it. Mm-hmm. She runs a business. And I think what I see a similarity between my mother and you is that your employees know that you have their best interest at heart.
Right.
You two are truly teammates together. So if you're having to give them feedback or something, it's because you care about them and you love them.
Absolutely. And it can't be, I think the biggest thing is it's like sometimes you have to take emotions out of it a little bit. So it's like when you go in and if you're having a hard conversation with someone, it's like first question is always like, okay, why am I having this conversation? What good is it going to be done out of this? Like, what's the problem? What's the solution? What's the desired like effect of like, what do we need to see for change? Right. I think it's kind of like that in order of, is this going to, if I call this out right now in the thick of this emotion, is that going to be helpful or hurtful? And, you take a moment. It's like, okay, how much, like, is everybody in heat? Is anyone not? Like, is this the first time? Is this the second time? What's going on in this scenario? And two is, okay, now let's have a conversation and let's talk about it. Like, everyone can have a bad day. Like, that's crazy. If you had if you had one bad day and you're going to call someone out, like, how dare you have a bad day? No, it's like, hey, like, are you okay? Because it's always about first check-in is about the team member themselves, because ultimately that's what matters. Cause like they're the foundation, they're the backbone of the operation. So you can't just go in and expect someone to act like a robot or mask their emotions. If they've had a bad day or a tough day, like sometimes people just need a day off.
Wow.
And it's hard to, say that. But if I go in, I'm like, I can cover your day. Like if you need to take a moment, like take it.
Yes.
If you need 30, like go take a breath. Like you're so good, But I think ultimately when you're having those harder conversations, it's like, okay, what happened? Tell me your perspective. And what do you think about it? Like you want to ask, like truly, like you want to get into their mind of what's their justification and so letting them be defensive.
Seek to understand.
Because ultimately, if I just hear from over level, this happened, and I go and form my own conclusion without even knowing the other side, because, they always say there's 3 sides to a story: my side, your side, and the truth. And I think it's always like how to figure out to the best of our ability what the truth is.
Yes.
And then go and, okay, let's problem solve. What do you think we can do to make it better? How can we make this better? Like, do I need to make a change in the system? Do you need to make a change? Do we both need to, like, what are we doing?
They're so lucky to work for you. And it's clear when you talk to them.
I'm lucky to have them. Like,
well, I think that's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah, they're very lucky.
You're going to make a grown woman cry on a podcast here today.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, great. As long as I'm not setting a record for the first for this.
No. I want to know about the business aspect of it. Did you like save money up? You asked like an investor. How much can you share about that?
Yeah. So everything I've been pretty much doing was saving towards, like, I've always had a coffee shop fund. Growing up, I've worked 3 jobs, like my whole life. I had a full ride in school. So every
Okay, smart queen. Full ride?
I did. I had a full ride.
On academic?
Yeah.
Dang.
Nah, just my looks. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. That was a bad joke. Yeah. So full ride in school. So that's what was able to help a lot with like anything I did. So always having worked 3 jobs, always running around doing my own thing because I like to stay busy. So all of that went towards that. And then also, I would be lying if I say I did have to ask like for some investment backing. So
that had to be an expensive endeavor.
100%. Wouldn't say it was the cheapest adventure.
Is it mostly the renovations?
Equipment cost,
Yeah, those damn machines.
Those machines are not cheap.
Can you share what it costs?
Yeah,
the machine?
Yeah, like my espresso machine costs about $30,000, just the espresso machine itself. And that's
a lot of coffees before you get your investment back.
100%. I think we were, just like equipment costs and everything, like $100K in, like, and that's where, and even like the build out and stuff like that. That's why we get to do the build out ourselves.
That's so impressive.
Did
you buy or rent the building?
We're renting.
You rented?
We're renting. Yeah.
Wow.
We did not buy. So we do have a landlord.
Was that even like a question? Is that something that you evaluated as like, hey, do we buy this versus rent it?
With this being my first endeavor, I think there was so much, I think Alex is the only one who really truly was like 100% confident in me. It was cute, but like even my parents, they were like, are you sure you want to quit your full-time job? Like, and especially when I showed them the space, because it was in the middle of nowhere.
It's in Wedgwood, Houston.
It's in Wedgwood, Houston, but or it's in Chestnut Hill.
Okay.
But whenever we had just signed the lease, none of the buildings were up. None of the buildings were up. None of the we had the yoga studio next to us. That one was up, and that was about it. We had seen a parking garage out of the space that's right across from us, and we had no clue what it was gonna be. And so, and again, even our space, it was, I kid you not, a concrete bunker.
So why'd you pick it?
Where you're like, well, it's a good opportunity. Let's figure it out. Let's try it. It was more reasonable than anything else that Nashville would be able to give us. And we were like, okay, and this is a good thing for me to know, how should I do this? And especially because it's your first steps. You're scared, you're scared whenever you're quitting your livelihood and just going for a new endeavor. The landlord was pretty reasonable when we were like, hey, we actually want to put a big hole in this wall, and we want to change the door from here to here, and we want to put windows in. And he was like, so do you just want to demo my building? And we're like, we don't want to demo it. We'll keep the foundation, but we want to really punch some holes and do some crazy stuff. And he was like, all right. But yeah, no TI. And so we're like, but he did
What's
help.
TI?
Tenant improvement. So he did help a little bit, shared a little bit of cost, but
he's got to be pumped, right? You just totally upped his building.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Dear landlord, do you like us?
Yes, I love you guys.
Do you like us? From a business standpoint, would I say that choosing the location would have been the smartest thing? No. Anyone going into the business would be like, this is crazy. What kind of cost of analysis did I run? What kind of demographic study did I run? What did I do to think that this is the right location? It's the opportunity just seemed right. So it was such a gut feeling, which is crazy because in the world of business, they say, trust your gut, but also trust the numbers.
Yeah, especially being from an accounting background.
Yeah, yeah. And I think for me, I was like, well, this is just 100% gut and 1,000% living life on the edge and prayer. So a little Bon Jovi, I guess.
What's the hardest part of running Cafe Babu?
I would say the hardest part is being someone who has to wear one too many hats. Being a small business owner, it's incredible, but also sometimes you need a little bit more of flexibility to run off. The hardest part is every day I have an agenda, and that agenda is every time I'm about to conquer it, it's that agenda just got pushed aside because 50 other things just happened here. So being so flexible and, just always being hands on deck and just being ready and knowing that how I'm planning my day is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So just save that agenda for off hours, and everything else can happen during hours.
That's so interesting. I just heard Mark Zuckerberg say that 90% of his day he leaves unplanned.
Yeah.
Because as the leader of a business, your priorities are dictated by what fires are happening
100%,
that day.
100%. And being able to know that it's you are going to be problem solving 130% of your day is problem solving. And some is easier, some is more difficult, depends. But I think ultimately the hardest part is just honestly being that one person that, and also sometimes it's kind of hard because everyone's also looking up to you for answers. And the other day, the toilet broke and they're all looking up to me for an answer. And I'm like, turn off the water valve?
What am I, a damn plumber now?
Yeah. And, but luckily I do have so many people I can depend on. Cause of course the first person I called is when my brother-in-law's, I'm like, this toilet is just going crazy. What do I do? He goes, don't worry about it. I'll fix it tomorrow. I'm like, all right, great.
Where did you find the confidence to take the leap and do this? And I imagine the vulnerability too. Like you said, it's such an expression of who you are.
Yeah, I will say, I think the confidence really came within again, not to just keep talking about my parents, but growing up, one thing my dad always instilled in my sister and I was just, at the end of the day, whatever you do, you don't have to be the best at it, but you have to give it the best of what you have. And also, whatever you do, you have to have the confidence in what you're doing. And if you're not confident, then that's what you need to work on, so, so to speak. And so for me, I've always seen this coffee shop as a dream, as a vision, as something I wanted to do. But then I wasn't, I didn't find confidence, like, can I do this? But then it's like, okay, why do I not think I can do this? Or why am I not wanting to do this? If this is a dream, what am I doing now to manifest the reality of it? And so honestly, it was within myself, and just knowing that I think it needed to happen sooner or later. So literally, I think, and I also didn't want to leave the tax consulting company high and dry. So it was like end of 2023, I knew I wanted to open up this coffee shop. I talked to my bosses like in January of 2024, gave them like a 4-month notice because I wanted to finish up tax season for them. So quit my job April 30th. Flew out May 1st to the roaster to go, pick out the espresso beans and like talk to them. Like, I was so solidified, but also simultaneously was working on everything together. And then May 15th flew out to go get married and came back in June, and we hit the ground running. So from June to August, we did all the interior build outs, all the tables, everything, laid the floors. I think there's like at 2 a.m. one day, Alex and I were just at the cafe, like maybe like a few tears in my eyes. I'm like, is this really what I want to do? But I'm like, yeah, this is it. Like, and then you see every process. And I'm like, like when the beans first came in, like I think I'm like jumping up and down, like, we're like singing and dancing while like everyone's who like coming through the space. And I'm like, we're like all just like having like salsa moments and like just dancing. And it was just like fun too, So every like those little moments kept reviving me, and it kept giving me confidence. And just knowing that whatever I'm doing, I'm learning it. So, like you can take a moment to say, actually, I don't know the answer to that. That's a great question. Let me come back to it. Let me think about it. So knowing that I had that flexibility.
That's so important. Do you want to do more of these? What's ahead for you? Do you know yet? Or you just have to focus on today?
For a minute, I thought you were saying, do you want to do more of these podcasts? I'm like, yeah, let's keep chatting. 100% I know that this is the only Cafe Babu I'll do. I love just the personality, the charm of this coffee shop, where I don't want to amplify and do multiple versions, because I just think to me, I love having this one coffee shop and calling her the one hit wonder. This is where I was saying, like, I was like, I love being a one hit wonder on it. Like you can develop its own personality. Like every day a new opportunity comes, and I just think there's a charm in just having that. Alex and I actually currently are working on starting our own clothing line. So that is happening. Oh, crap. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this on a podcast.
The clothing line? It's on the DL?
Well, I guess now it's not.
No, this is a great place to announce it.
Yeah. Surprise.
Yay. Congratulations.
Yeah, this is we call this the year of Alex. So last year was the year of me. This is the year of Alex. So we're currently working on that. So it's in the production phase.
That's so cool.
He's the designer, and I'm just kind of here to, I think I'm the inspiration, because he was just tired of my shopping problem. So
do you have a shopping problem?
I love shopping for clothes. I love buying things.
Do you do it at night, like when you're laying in bed?
100%. Or just like in the morning. Like why?
Just like, 6 a.m.
Why am I on?
You just like rot on Revolve or what?
Like I think sometimes I do speak into my Instagram and I'm like, hi, I need new clothes. And it just shows up. Or like when we go travel. I do like shopping whenever I'm traveling though. Like that to me, I love going places and like seeing new things, like especially like small businesses abroad.
That you can't find anywhere else.
That you can't find anywhere else.
Japan's the best for that. The best.
There you go. I can only imagine. I want to go to Japan. Like
you have to. The interior design, the home goods, the clothing.
My parents just got back and I was so jealous. I'm like, wait, what you guys get me? And they're like, here's some sunscreen.
That's funny.
Like here. But even like it's my favorite product now. Like in my closet is like my little sunscreen.
These jeans are from Japan.
I was going to say, I was like, wait, they look very Japanese.
They are. Captain Sunshine.
Gotta love them. Even like when we like, even right now, we just got back from Greece and like, you know, I like going to like the small local spaces and like in the small city and like Corinth and like I just go and chat it up with everybody. And
that's so cool.
I'm also like learning how to speak Greek. So it was like practicing and they're just so sweet to me. Like they like let it happen. I sound like a 2-year-old trying to speak, but they're like, you're doing great, sweetheart. And
yeah. How many languages do you know?
I fluently speak 3.
Wow. Which ones?
English, Gujarati, and Spanish.
Oh my gosh, Spanish.
But now I'm
All right,
learning.
full ride.
Which, she had to learn something. No, it just I've always had a knack for just like wanting to learn and curiosity. I think that's my biggest thing is, and also like just respect. I like respecting people's cultures. So like I had a lot of friends like their parents were either from like Mexico City or they were from Guatemala or from Argentina. And I just loved being able to go to their houses and like show like just show signs of respect and like wanting to learn to speak in the language of like what was practiced at home and it was just so fun. So for me, that's really what pushed it. But yeah, now like I'm learning Greek because I love being able to like go to Greece and like speak to people and actually learn the culture, and everyone is so respectful. And also I want to make sure Alex and his family aren't talking ill about me.
He's Greek.
He's Greek.
Oh yeah, you gotta know.
Yeah, now I have
You
to.
can't be having shade thrown about Shiv.
100%.
Unknown.
But like, we can all throw a little shade about Alex. No, I'm just kidding.
Is he picking up Hindi or what? No, sorry.
Gujarati.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he actually, it's funny because like he says he doesn't know how to speak it, but 100% he understands.
He might know low key.
He knows because like there's moments I'll say something and I'll speak about it. Like I'll speak to my parents because it's just natural, and he'll just like chime into the conversation, and I'm like, wait, how did you know that's what we're talking about? He goes, oh, I just understood your accent. And I'm like, you're secretly plotting. Like, he's
a smart guy.
He's a smart kid. So yeah.
I can tell culture is very important to you, Shivani.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure Indian culture and Southern culture aren't the easiest mix.
Believe it or not, there's so much of a similarity than what people want to acknowledge or call out, to be honest. I think to me, growing up in Bowling Green and having so many friends that were, in that Southern hospitality aspect, and like growing up in an Indian household, my parents loved hosting all of my friends who came from that same thing. Cause it's like, I think respect, we like Southern hospitality, the level of respect that they have for like, your parents and stuff, that's so similar to Indian culture. Also showing signs of like love of food. There's something so beautiful about like, and all my friends, like they would come to our house and like they knew that they're not leaving the house without like eating or something. So like they would come hungry. Cause like my grandpa wouldn't let that happen. Like he would literally sit there, and if you come in, like he'll ask you 5 times, like, do you want something to drink? Do you want something to eat? Until you say yes. Like,
that's so sweet. Your grandpa's name?
My grandpa's name was Babu.
That's so sweet.
So that's what Cafe Babu, the inspiration and all, was truly drawn from him. So he's no
longer here.
He's no longer with us.
He'd be so proud of you.
His spirit remains. Anyone who's come through the cafe, it's like they just find like it's so proud. Like they're proud, to see like his name being honored and just creating a space full of just like love and hospitality.
Yes.
Which were 2 of his things. It's like no matter who you are, what you are, where you come from, when there was always a place for you in our house. Going back to that similarity of Southern culture versus Indian culture, I think those things, like the same ideas and ideologies growing up, really were taught to everybody. And, curiosity, discussion, speaking to everyone, understanding. I think all of that really is like synonymous. Call me crazy. Maybe I just had a different Southern childhood, but yeah, I mean, also I love just going to my friend's house. Like they would, it's like you're seated at the table. You go and like food's important, like there's always a spot for you. And having that, it's like, you see how important hospitality is. And I think that's shared worldwide.
It is. Wow. Tell me more about Alex's clothing line.
Yeah. So
is it going to be like very earthy tones?
Absolutely.
Y'all are always dressed in earthy tones.
Honestly, everything we do, I don't want to keep bringing up culture and heritage, but I think that's our thing. We like to keep that into every aspect because it's so true to us. So the clothing line is going to be very much like playing with like silks, which is very Indian, linens, which is very Greek, it's very like Indo-Western, but Indo-Western's already been a thing, but it's very Greece meets India. Like we actually did a video shoot of an outfit that we had like a prototype, and we did it in our village in Greece, and it's just so cool because it's like this one item that I wore to an Indian wedding, and if I felt so Indian in it, but like very modern Indian. But then a friend of ours, she's a Greek girl, and she wore it. She goes, I've never felt so Greek before.
Wow.
And it's like, so that's kind of like the multifacet of the brand is just, it's the idea of you have this blend of cultures, but also blend of fabrics, but the color and everything is going to be very like monolithic. It's very like tranquil. And yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
For men and women?
For men and women.
Let's go. Equal opportunity employer.
Equal opportunity.
Come on. What are we calling it?
It's called Leo Vas.
Leo Vas.
Yeah. So Leo is for his village. His dad's village is Leodio, and Vasilis is his middle name, which is his grandpa's name. So Leo Vas.
One word?
2 words.
2 words. Okay. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Shiv, what should I have asked you that I didn't?
Dang, I don't know. I feel like you asked me a lot of good questions.
I just feel like you're so smart and layered, and I don't want to miss anything.
You didn't ask me how many countries I've been to.
How many countries have you been to?
I've been to 31 countries.
Wow.
I had a goal to do 30 countries before I turned 30. So
How old are you?
I just turned 30 this year.
Congrats. Let's
Thank
go.
you. Thank you.
30 is a good number, right?
It's a good one. I'm definitely starting to feel it in my back, but
You working out?
No, please.
You don't have time?
I don't. Well, okay. Yes and no. Like I work out like a little bit, but like I don't think I need to make it more of a priority. Get back into like rhythm of every day, because like Alex is probably gonna, when he hears this, laugh at me because he's gonna be like, she doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Like she goes on a walk. But I do want to be able to get back into like the rhythm of like working out like religiously. But for now, it's like, please, the amount of cardio I get from the coffee shop.
You're running around.
Yeah, like we measured. My right arm is half an inch bigger than my left. From the amount of tamping I do and like the amount of like espresso shots we pull. Yeah, uneven arms.
Wow. Top 5 countries. Go.
Okay, I have to say India 1, Greece 2, Argentina 3.
Shout out. Love Buenos Aires.
Love, me too. Uruguay. I know that they're next to each other, but you can't leave Uruguay out. And then I would say, it's always the hardest. There's too many good ones. Let's do Croatia.
Croatia. There you have it, folks. What's something you wish people knew about coffee shops that maybe they don't know?
I think the biggest thing is really understanding the amount of energy, love, respect, and stuff that goes into that one cup of coffee. And not just like where it starts at the coffee shop, but like really appreciating like just from the moment where that bean was raised or the tea was grown, or where the art even like, predating that, like where the art came from, to bringing that one bean into someone's roastery and like seeing all the attention, the detail that was given, like, like picked out of things that were, thrown away to get to that, to then the point where you bring it to a coffee shop, and how much waste we're going through to dial in that perfect espresso, to making sure like there's so much attention being given to that one cup of coffee. I think just kind of really taking a moment to be like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff that went in, even like the syrups, like the amount of attention, the detail, like because we make all of our syrups in house. And so everything that's being done, all the sourcing that's happening, like making sure everything is like ethically sourced, everything is really like clean products that we're using. So things like that, just knowing like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that just went into this one cup of coffee.
Shiv, this was so fun.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this. Like, sorry that I just like rambled nope, I'm not sorry.
You're not sorry. You're
not
proud.
sorry.
You're honored.
I'm so honored.
You're freaking badass. You're the owner of Cafe Babu. And I am so lucky to have sat here and gotten to know you.
I'm so honored that you honestly reached out and were like, hey, can we do this? And like you worked with me to be able to get to this point. Like,
we stuck with it.
We stuck with it. I thought you were going to be like, all right, this girl is too difficult to track into.
No.
So
what people don't realize is I have to stay so persistent to get the people on that I want to get on.
This is awesome. Like, thank you so much for everything that you've put on. And I think this is all, like great work that you do.
Oh, thank you. It's a dream come true.
We love you.
To sit and chat with people like you.
All the hearts.
That's it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Permission to Shine, the podcast dedicated to sharing the most humble, inspiring stories that I know you will love. Again, this is Andrew Nemani. I appreciate you tuning in. As always, please reach out, please follow on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, Spotify, Apple. Leave us your thoughts. Let us know who you want as a future guest or what's your takeaways from this conversation. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great week.